Welcome to a drizzly morning at Great Langdale. We're heading up over there to Rhino's Pass for the 3-day expedition. Who's excited for the expedition?
All very excited.
Woo! Oh, he's filming.
You weigh in.
9.5, that's really good. Really good. I've got no water.
John is 6.5. Let's do it.
Which does make quite a big difference, doesn't it?
Here's Reds.
Nearly 2 kilos of water.
Do you think I'm alright with doing that?
Packing envy now, isn't it?
Packing envy. Over 12.
Gear envy.
12.
12. That's good.
Yeah, but
10 kilos,
these
well
as well.
done.
No, they go in a different way.
With water, well done to them.
Hold.
And Anusha's is going to come out at 9. Did you
Pressure's on there.
Yeah, 9.5. Yeah, wow.
12.7.
1.7?
12. 12.7. This is a training course, isn't it?
It's about
Yeah.
You know, it's about learning. So you know, you'll go away. I wouldn't. You're paying £500 for this course, or £400, whatever you're paying. So that's a big investment. I wouldn't expect you to go out and buy loads of shiny new kit for something that you don't know whether you're going to commit to. You know, you'll smart work out whether this is the pathway that you want to go down and how much you want to invest in kit. I mean, I'm doing this kind of stuff every day, and so is Kelvyn. So we're out in the hills all the time. So anything that we buy, as my wife will testify at birthday time and Christmas, has to be tax deductible. Right?
Yeah.
So there's a benefit to us tax-wise from buying good kit. There's a benefit for us psychologically in terms of buying good kit. There's a benefit to us in terms of sort of our health and care and well-being for buying good light kit.
And there's a key thing we forget a lot. You're supposed to enjoy this. So if that's an extra kilo on your back, great. Yeah, but work out the stuff you really didn't need. You don't need your hair curlers, you don't need your makeup bag.
Come on, get it over with.
Looking to you, I was completely looking.
I know.
How much was yours? Mind your backs, guys.
With 2 litres, 13 Where you jump?
That's okay. 13.7, 13.8. And how much water you carry?
There's just under a litre in there.
Thing for you.
Big Annis.
Brilliantly, kid a couple of weeks ago brought his whatever they're called. I'm used to it.
14.75.
You've got 2 litres of water in there.
Yes. Just gonna
Stones, this is where the 3 shires met before we made Cumbria.
So you've got Lonsdale,
Right.
Westmoreland, Cumberland.
Westmoreland.
If I'm being honest, there'll be a lot of grumpy man moments, but hopefully there'll be some learning for you.
That's been a nice little navigation exercise. We've just come from the cars down here. You don't want us to go to that sheepfold, and next to this contour feature here, which we've navigated to. It's right where we are, and happily the weather is much better than forecast. And so we've looked at confirmation features. What's to the south? Saw my car down there, and then this little crag here. My north feature was the spur that we were navigating to. My westerly feature was Coal Pike. So we're very much using kind of like contours over open ground. So we've got fun. We're having a lovely time on the first day of the expedition. I'm going to measure the wind, and when you come up I want you to tell me what the wind speed is.
Okay.
Okay, so 24 gusts. 20.
25 miles an hour.
Really, really accurate.
Gusts are just over 20 probably.
Steady wind.
messing with me, naughty Red. We're doing relocation exercises where we've left the path over here and kind of got lost, pretending we're lost, and using the features around us, mainly contours, how this aspect goes away here, the fact that this ground here is uniform. Yanis is not part of the permanent features, I'm happy to say. And if we were looking further afield, the angle of the gorge, we could take a bearing off the summit of Pike Blisco if we wanted to. Great spot, good view of the stickles over here, Harrison stickle and Pike stickle. Skiddaw is in the far distance there. That's Crinkle Crags up there.
So if you stand up, we're not on that nose.
We're just kind of altering position just a little bit to get a better perspective. So soaking in the features first before you look at the map. In Leader Expedition Campsite 1. So this is my setup. Top tent Scarp 1. Sea to summit. Comfort insulated light. Food bag. Far too much food. Stove. Fuel. Map ready for the night navigation exercise. Hydro pack. Stash 750. Salomon XPD filter, and then a 2-litre water storage bag that also fits with that. Toiletries, crisps. Okay, so this is where we are. We're going to have a look at everybody else's setup. Yanis going for water. Our Leader, it's got a 6 Moons Designs Lunar Solo and a 6 kilo carry weight. He's got an inner in there. Yeah, all mesh inner. Looks lovely and spacious. Excellent. Looks well used. Up to main camp. This is the town.
It's the upper level.
More ways than one. So this is a Terra Nova.
2-man. Top to tail 2-man or a good sized 1-man.
Very good.
Tell you.
Look at the label.
Solar Minor.
The Terra Nova.
Terra Nova.
Yeah.
It's doing me great. Oh yeah, Terra Nova.
Yeah. And Matt, everything you've got to go through your whole setup.
Sorry,
you see,
sorry.
you've got to display.
I've only got a 3/4 length firm
Okay.
rest.
She's a 3/4 length person,
yeah.
really.
But I think it's quite nice and comfy considering how small it's packed up.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Stove
Anything else you want to see? Stove.
in there.
Got just a little
Wow,
thing
tiny.
going on here, yeah.
This is why Anisha's bag was only 10 kilos.
literally that.
Wow, fantastic.
That's it.
Wait, which is your food bag? Do you feel how heavy that is? Yeah, mine weighs like 3 times that.
Really?
Yeah, I've got lots of food. I'm taking half of it back, I think. Okay, here we go with Tina's setup.
Would you like to see my
Oh yes, let's.
It's a 1-person fox. And I don't know how you say that. OEX fox. Oix.
Oh,
I have no idea how you pronounce it. And it's a very small coffin-like tent.
my godfather.
Yeah. And so mountain equipment sleeping bag down to -3, I think.
Cozy.
And an thermarest.
Oh yeah.
So
Grey ones, eh?
it's
The expensive
bulkier than the
ones.
one that Anusha has, but it's warmer
Comfy.
and quite expensive. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, Mark's got some trad thing going on here.
We're going back in time.
Yeah.
Way back in time here.
Yeah, Saunders Foul Pine. Fantastic.
So I got this a couple of years ago when I was about 20.
You had a hard paper round. Could round if I have a little look, yeah.
for it.
Oh wow, we've got an aluminium pole and the
Cotton, sort of
yeah, wow.
3/4 length mat, and a sleeping bag that's only half down.
I've got the bottom halves.
The bottom half is just partakes.
Alright, very good.
And you only need insulation on the top because you've got a mat anyway.
And stove, are you going for the same area? Have you gone for
Yes,
coal, or have you
this
got
is,
like a real?
No, this is petrol. This is a petrol stove, so it's
Oh wow!
it's an old Swedish Severe.
Look at this thing.
It's all got lots of mod cons to. So I've got various bits of straws and things which get it started because you need to prime it. Being a petrol stove. And a bit of a cork if I want to put some.
So you're running on like unleaded petrol there.
Unleaded petrol, yeah.
Wow! Look at that
like
beauty. Can you feel how heavy it is?
Yeah.
Not that bad at all.
It's full of petrol, and yeah.
Great. Well, we'll hear that roaring later, won't we?
These things are virtually. It's interesting if you look at the look on the internet for things. These everyone says that they're just basically they just don't fail.
Kelvyn's set up, one of our leaders. Zephyros one.
So if you're going to spend some extra money on anything, get yourself a proper mat.
Oh, look at that. Is it X-Bed, is it?
X-Bed down mat.
Wow.
Yeah, with its fantastic, where's it gone? Fantastic. Look at this. Inflate it.
Oh yeah.
The schnozzle. 3 pumps and it's inflated.
Just 3. Oh, I have to do at least 5 or 6 for my seat summit.
There you go.
Cozy, warm, nice green coloration. Very good. Who's in this Terra Nova laser? Red. Okay. Who's over? This is set up. The Decathlon tent. What model is it, Yanis? What model is this tent?
It's this one.
Okay, Trek 900, 4-class Trek 900. And I like this little integrated door ground sheet thing. Alright, isn't it? Like half mesh. Comfy 4-class mat. Fantastic. I like the colour as well.
We'll see.
Well, it's not moving in this wind at all, is it?
I don't like that this part here. I think I need to sew on another loop
Oh yeah.
because it's a bit
Flappage.
yeah.
Cool.
Food on the Move Lancashire UK, you get to the webpage of these people.
Yeah.
And I buy a 6-day pack of food, and I buy the 100 grams.
Yeah.
You can buy 125 if you've got a big appetite. And I've just bought a new one, so 6 meals cost me £68. Packages free. So each one of these
Dessert as well.
£3.70.
What's a Trek and Eat like?
Really rather nice. We're a simple little lad from Salford. This is the way to go.
So my
Surprisingly spicy.
Expedition Foods Thai green curry was brilliant. 1,000 calories, which was just right. It's been brilliant. We've just been doing night nav exercises. We're in this kind of like broken ground of boulders and stuff at camp, and we've just been doing big boxes of 100, 150 metres in the mist and dark, and or then triangular exercises, pentangles, and trying to pace it and get back to the right point. Everybody else is just up there. So that's the end of day 1. Good night. Good morning, campers. Welcome to day 5 of mountain training, which is day 2 of the expedition. A really good night. It's about 6:30 in the morning. So yesterday, after the days kind of navigating, relocating, we camped about 5:30 and then had some rest time until 9. Most of us had a little snooze, and then 9:30 we were out on night navigation exercises, which went on till 11. That went really well, really. Pouch is working out well for me. Got my whistle in that outer pocket there, and then in there is my compass, and on a and that's the magnifying glass, magnifying lens. Then on this line is the nav card with pacing there, pacing times, and this side is the roamer. I might add on to this some adjustment for different ground, the pacing, because this is assuming flat, but of course rough ground, going uphill, downhill, poor visibility, night time, it all changes. And then in here there's a Harvey's map folded up, excuse me, doing this one-handed, pair of glasses, and waterproof notebook and pencil. So this, the pacing beads were working very well for me on night navigation. Something I've not really done before. I've walked at night before, but I've not done any micro navigation at night. It's really what you need to do. And at first I was doing 20 paces, about 30 meter sections, far too much. And I was a little bit inaccurate when doing a box section by about 10 meters. So I broke it down into. So yeah, I'm carrying one of the heaviest packs of the group. Far too much food with me, to be honest. So I think maybe we should cut that down. But I'm a little bit of a scout still, and I'm still a bit kind of be prepared mentality. So there are things I'm going to drop in the future. And I've got a power bank as well, which I always kind of like find useful, which weighs quite a lot. Tent fish. So yeah, looking forward to another good day. We're setting off at 9. I think we're going over the other side of the valley this morning. Yanis is setting up communications with the motherland.
We found some butterwort, but not much butterwort.
Oh, we didn't see any yesterday.
Yeah. Around the far side actually, where it was going down in levels, so when it was levelled and it was wet, you know, the soil quality was quite poor.
This is where we were last night.
Okay, so my next checkpoint 8, so checkpoint B, 120 metres this way. I think you've all got it anyway.
If you've got to a climb and you're feeling a bit puffed, you can use the opportunity to look at the scenery. We'll talk about the flora in some nice star moss, little tiny bits of bilberry.
So I'm going to tell you that I'm counting my paces, and I'm going to tell you that I'm using a bearing. Okay? I'm going to go for 20 metres. When I turn round to face you, I will be on my bearing. So I'll have walked to something that's down my line of vision, that's one of my dots to dot. So if you come to where I started from and take a bearing onto me, you've got my bearing. Yeah? And then with everybody on every navigational course, I want them to walk 100 metres, stop, confirm with everybody else, walk 100 metres, stop, confirm with everybody else, and so on. Right, so we get used to how each of us work over 100 metres, and that helps to confirm our position. And it also means if under the pressure of assessment you lose count of your steps, you can pick it up after 100 metres. Yeah, so you're back in the ballpark.
Oh no! That's Leven's water. Just there is where we parked on the first day, that car park. Seems like 10 days ago. We've all grown and learnt a lot just in those 4 days. We've gelled as a group and shared experiences.
Just be aware of that.
So what Jon just said is we're contouring on the 600 metre contour line, and it's managing the terrain while staying at that altitude is the thing to look out for. Is that what you said, Jon?
Yeah, particularly the rock band ahead. We ideally want to cross it at 600 metres, but we might have to compromise where we move over it depending on the terrain.
Okay. Lovely little garden here. Club moss, some woolly hair moss, a bit of bilberry. So you get greater diversity where the old sheepies can't get to it too well. There's a whole load of parsley fern. I don't think it's actually edible parsley, but there's a lot of it growing on this aspect. He said, falling over. Watch your feet now, we're all getting a bit tired. So sadly this was the scene of a World War II aircraft crash, and this is the engine, part of the engine block here. It looks like a 12-cylinder engine, 12-cylinder V4.
Yeah, we were coming at Great Cars earlier, and we spotted a stone cairn with a wooden cross on it and a plaque on it commemorating the sort of the crash in 1944 where 8 servicemen died in a Halifax. They just clipped the top of the summit, and then they went headlong down the side of it.
Right. Sad.
Some debris to be found in the engine block and parts of the fuselage.
Yeah, that's what we've seen, V12 engine block. Last night of our mountain leader training, Mark's stubble is looking so mountain rescue.
I tell you.
The ruggedness. Look, I look like a 16-year-old girl next to him, don't I?
Chiseled.
Chiseled. If that came to me, if that face came to me out the mist, I would just save me,
God,
please, save me. Resuscitate me, please. So how's your day been, Anusha?
Windy. Yeah, a good day for the weather.
You didn't have to volunteer.
Wine. The wine is down there, but we're going to have to go without Bombay mix as our only comfort. Hot chocolate. How's the course been for you overall, Mark?
Oh, it's been a real revelation actually. I mean, I'd like to think after all my experience in the fells I sort of knew what I was doing, but the trouble is with running everywhere, you're always looking 2 meters ahead of you to avoid tripping, and sort of you don't have time to do all the fine navigation and the interesting stuff that we've been doing. So it's been a real revelation for me.
Yeah,
I'm glad I did it.
Sounds very exotic.
I've got that amazingly rare thing where you're wildcamp cooking of a comfy seat, easy access to my pot, easy access to my food. It's just...
Does anyone want any water doing while I'm doing this?
We can't believe it.
We are all very jealous.
She's cooked chicken breast and has a cheese board
She's got an egg in it, she could make an omelette.
on a 2-night wildcamp. We are not worthy. Dead fish. curious thing, when I was putting the tent up last night, I found 2 small holes, looked like a burn, and it went right through to the footprint underneath, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then when I was using my head torch last night, I realised that the lenses and the LEDs from the silver Trail Speed 4XT, I think it is, match those holes exactly. And of course it's very powerful but gets really hot, so I think after the night navigation exercise I must have come in and switched it off, put it down on the ground like that, and it burnt 2 holes in my footprint. Lesson learned.
But we don't follow it the whole way round.
No.
We
just think by the time we get up to the top, and yes, we'll be able to see the cars from there. So I'm proposing we don't follow the path all the way back. Just could get there, yeah. Let's see what this is going.
I reckon see where we actually are by the time we get up there, because I'm not convinced we'll be that far round. Will we?
Okay, well, it sounds like you've had a good few days, lots of learning and some weather. So to finish it off now is quite important. But this is, I think, probably one of the most important parts of the course. This is just a little self-assessment form, okay, and it's just got syllabus areas. If you think of a syllabus area that we haven't covered, it was just a pricing, you know, so if you think of an area that you feel you're weak or strong at, then obviously just adding in some spare lines, you know. Deciding where the anchor should be, so if the person's going down or coming up here, you know, if that table is where I want it, then I want my anchor in that sort of vector. I don't want it kind of over there or over there. That's not very much use. Okay, and then I've got a pole here, and so I've looked at it, I've touched it, I've tapped it, I've given it a good check, and I've made sure that it's good. Yeah. Okay, it's not 100%, but so I'm going to tie myself into the system. Yeah. So my choices are: I could just put it straight round, use friction on it, and there's lots of pros and cons to that, but also I've got to make sure that anchor's really good. And then if not, then I'm going to have to re-thread this because I can't.
Come this side if you're struggling to see, guys.
Yeah. So I've tied the overhand knot, and then I'm just going to follow it back through. Yeah. And then I grab hold of it behind me. Yeah. And then what's wrong with that?
Not far enough.
It's not far enough back, is it? So I always have to go about 6 to 8 inches further back, yeah?
He wants that.
If you need that in new money, you'll have to ask somebody else. Okay, and then a step in. And what should I have done before I stepped in? What do I need to... So I'm protecting my front
Rucksack
with my
on.
legs.
Rucksack on?
Yeah, great. So I need to put my rucksack on to protect my back, yeah? Okay, and then I sit where I want to sit, shuffle back a bit, yeah? And then tie my knot there, yeah? Okay, now, just to say that you can tie a knot there as well. You know, if you needed to, you could pull some up there. And some people do teach that as the standard way. I just find it easier, giving myself a bit of extra, and then snug it up at the front.
It's easier
So,
to do it in front of you than behind you.
yeah, generally people find it
Especially if
easier.
the ground's a bit uneven.
Yeah. Okay, and then the spare rope. Where do I put the spare rope?
On the side, depending on your strong leg.
Here he is. Thank you very much. Bob.
The man behind you got to spare rope.
Yeah. and then so we put the spare rope. So let's say that leg's well braced. We put the spare rope on that side. Okay. So other things that I should be thinking about: gloves. Yeah. Okay. And this leg's braced, so the rope's going down that leg, so it's going to twist me onto that. as the pull comes on, yeah? Okay, and then as I'm paying out, I can pay out like that, yeah? Or if I'm taking in, I can take in like that, or when we're practicing, like that, yeah? And so once you've got it going, that's obviously quicker, but what people get confused about is which one to hold on to. This is the dead rope, we don't let go of it, why?
We're going to go.
Because they're going to
die.
Yeah? Okay. Put that on. Did you eat well? Yeah. That's good. Okay, so he can go in there and we can adjust this up, can't we? On there. So we could use bowlines here, but really we've just got to be confident with what we do. And then if we were going to lower him, it would be quite uncomfortable if we lower him just on that. So if we give him this, this does quite, and you can hold it with both hands. That does a couple of things, because going over the edge is scary. And particularly if there's a rocky edge here, can you see that he's going to want to grab the rope and then he'll knock the skin off his knuckles? Can you see that? So it keeps his knuckles clear as he's going over, rather and it all rather than just grabbing the rope, because you want to grab the rope, you know, because that's just normal, you know. And then by pulling on that as you're going over the edge, you can significantly reduce the load on
Ropes are abandoned because the bacon, egg, butty and coffees have arrived. It's debrief time. We're all filling in forms and giving ourselves an honest appraisal of where we are now and what we need to do in the future to get ready for assessment. And then our instructors are going around and looking at those forms, giving us tips, websites to go on, associations to join, courses we could look at, and a realistic, smart plan to achieve those goals and get on our assessment in good readiness.
We've learnt a lot actually about dyed sheep and fossilised snow.
We're going to use that.
Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, right kids, remember what I told you, going up here, use edges, ledges and wedges. So nice and steady, walk nice and upright, plant your foot for each step and take one good step at a time. Away you go. I'll be watching.
Thanks so much.
So hope you've enjoyed those videos. They've been with Chris Ensoll. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this series. It's been absolutely fantastic week. I'm out the next day now with the family, already applying some of the principles that we've learnt on this lovely wet day up Go Barra Fell. My wife's got the map and compass, and I'm adding those principles right in there straight away. She's learning the 4 Ds of navigation. Sorry about the wet lens. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks for all the team, the 2 Marks, our instructors, Chris, Jon and Kelvyn, the girls, Tina and Nikki and Nusha, Big Yanis, Red. I think that's everybody. Yeah, thanks team.
Vibration. It's not part of the crag, right? But it's pretty big. I'm going to drop a rope over it. Got a perfectly positioned lip here and here. Now this is where the overhand knot is difficult to judge. You take a massive loop of rope. Big rock. Okay. Try and put loop on this. Yeah. When I sit down here, to be my loop. If that's too tight,
Read it. You want to back it there?
yeah, tighten it up. Right. Shuffle onto it.
together. Between your legs.
That's it. Got it. Okay. Alright, you're not friction in it. Wow, there's so much friction.
So it's gone between my legs, round my hip, across my shoulder, round my neck, round my arm. Right. I've opened myself out to reduce friction. And it's not very comfortable. Feed it through slowly.